Hello, keyholders, and welcome for the first time to Top 250. This is going to be my new series that I created a post of, and the first game that I have randomly generated for the Top 250 page is going to be Our Life Beginning and Always. So, for the point of this game, I'm going to just be playing through the base game. The only DLC that I have, even though there was a lot of options for it, is just the voiced names DLC. I will leave a description to the game, and if you guys want to play it yourself, you can. I'm only going to do one run through of the game, which I think is only going to be about 8 hours from what I saw. But yeah. All I know is that this is a romance game. This may not be everyone's thing. I'm not sure if it'll even be my thing, but hey, we'll see how it goes, and I'm excited to get into it, so let's get started. I'm probably going to skip past the character creation for your guys' sake. This is our girl, Aura Brogard. Actually, yeah, we'll keep my name in there. Alrighty, let us begin. I'm gonna do voices just like I did for Meadow Gardens, so hopefully that doesn't bother people, but we'll see how it goes. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination, with people coming from all over to reach the beach. The weather and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved them passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved hello, waved, or asked. I'm gonna not cut myself off anymore when I do that, because I feel like that's gonna get annoying. Or asked how your family was. Immediately doing it. Or most often just said hello. Didn't really get... Oh, first choice! Alrighty. Didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. I'm a nerd. I'm gonna play a nerd. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. By the way, to make a point, I don't see nerd as an insult, I see it as a compliment, so... That's just my personal thing. If some people take offense to that, that's their own thing. But for me personally, nerds are anxious and kind of antisocial, and I'm going to try and embody that as best as I can in this character. So we'll see how it goes. But today there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. Moms? Oh, okay. Cool. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mention that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite, then. Here. They mention that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. They mention that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. I like this one. I get that stranger danger is a big thing, but I feel like this is something that's like a decision for my parents more than for my character, and so I think that makes sense. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door, but you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. I feel like I'd be nervous. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but still you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Ooh. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place as he approached. Oh, he has a voice! I don't need to, voice act him, I don't think. Oh, yes I do. Never mind! Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. I live right there. My name is Aura. Great! Nice to meet you, Aura. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. He reached into his pocket. And pulled out a clean... I gotta stick with the female voice. If I'm doing a female voice for the narrator, I'm gonna stick with it. $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. You do not look old enough to have a kid, but okay. I guess it is kind of like an anime style. It makes sense that they'd see younger. Cove, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bird. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Aura. Brogard, right? I met your moms earlier. They told me you were 8, just like him, so... Okay, so I'm an 8-year-old. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance. You can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you've got to keep it a secret too, okay? Wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. Do other kids get their parents to pay for friendships? Yeah, I feel like that's would be my response. Had your mom's done that for you and Lily? The thought made you frown. What do you say? Want to make a deal? You didn't want the money. I wouldn't want to take the money. I'm a nerdy kid, but I think I'd feel bad. I don't need the money. I don't want to be paid for that. Oh, it's time for me to make my character's voice. I don't... Should I make the narrator's voice the same voice as my character? I kind of want to. I feel like that's a good voice for her. But I'm a kid, so I think that should be the adult voice, so... You don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely. Are you sure? It won't be so bad. Even if it's just for the summer, that'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into a back pocket and changed the request. I get it. You don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved? Okay. Yeah, I guess. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. I keep wanting to revert into my DM voice. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. Oh. Oh no, this is gonna be a sad game. Oh, God, no. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss him. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still gonna help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head. Paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back in. That's not important. What's important? I have to go. Thanks again, Aura. So much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Step 1. First sight. I'm gonna do it for those. So, this is probably gonna be cut up into a few episodes. I don't know how many. It depends on... I'm going to probably finish this game, because I'm liking it so far, so... I know Top 250 is going to have a lot of episodes, probably, and there's going to be a lot of games, including multiplayer ones, which I'm hoping to get Panda for, but I'll probably just shut up for now and continue the story of the game. It seems like it's just going to be a lot of my choices, but yeah, let's see how this goes, and hopefully I can embody the character I'm trying to play. I really think that this game's going to have some interesting story. I mean, it is number 133, I think I said? Yeah, something like that. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean as you walked. You listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and sea serpents. You imagined living far beneath the waves. I kind of like that one for a nerd. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. I love to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk, sea serpents. I imagined living far beneath the waves. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax, and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy, sitting at the top of one hill. Aww. Almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. God, this game has some beautiful visuals. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd have found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have sad frowns. I feel like the sad frowns would be the thing that my character would notice. But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him, and show you weren't scary. I think I'd just say hi. I'm still nervous. I think hey, Space Cadet's very, very outgoing, but no. Nah. Hello? With a start, he jumped to his feet, hands balling into fists at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining, with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? His eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? I met your dad.
Oh.
So is this your hill? Your hill. He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I believe it is. You shook your head. Yeah, I'm gonna shake my head. Maybe I won't read out all the answers. That may get a bit annoying. While doing so, you also picked out a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. I have a feeling I'm gonna really like this game. The night wind was cool as it traveled over this ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. I don't feel like I'd ask that. That's very questioning. I like this one. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they'd never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. Ah! Okay. We're fine. It's fine. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him. And now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. He felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Ora!
Cove?
Oh, I don't need to do that one. Kids, where are you? Where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. You can handle it. You can handle it, even if you can't. He's your dad, right? Yeah, he is. Dusting the grass off your pants, you stood up. So you didn't come here by yourself? Or with a stranger? He's gotta take care of you no matter what. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. I still don't want to go. You waited silently with him. Yeah, I get it. I kind of imagine Aura just like kind of like picking at her like a shirt, or I guess maybe, I don't know what I'm wearing exactly, but that's kind of what I'm imagining, like while talking to him nervously. You do? Oh, shit! No! He said something about, oh god. Okay, I'll go back to that previous thing. I just skipped it, but I'm gonna go back and pause, and I'll put text right up here with what it says, and I'll do a readout paused at this scene before I read the next thing. There you are, bud. I need to know not to hold. I gotta be careful about that. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Oh my gosh, my moms are a couple of badasses. They look awesome. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Aura, you're here after all. Mom, which one is mom and which one is mommy? This one looks like mommy, this one looks like mom, so I'm gonna say that one's mom. You've been at the park, to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. No, we were just sitting in the grass. Thank God you're Oh! Well, I was wrong. I want to give her a different voice then. Thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? He looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. Nope. I think he's nice. I like him. He's a good guy. Yes, I like him. He nodded, smiling lightly. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Oh, Mommy was the other one. Good thing Aura knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Bye, bud. The two of them were walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. He watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sounds like words. You nodded, ducking your head down. Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arms around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. I don't think I have a crush yet. I think I am fond of Cove. I don't think I'm indifferent. I think I am fond of him. I think I like him, but I think I'm a little too young for the crush phase. I'm not a female, so I don't know if that's normal or... I don't know. Growing up, I didn't even have crushes until I got into, the middle school stages, and this is still an elementary schooler, so I'm going to say fond. And I feel like I'm still a little nervous around him. But I feel like I'm getting closer to him. I feel like I'm fond, but I'm nervous. Begin step 1 at nervous. You won't be able to change it again until step 2. Yes, I am nervous, but I am fond. Yes. Childhood friendship. Start playing step 1 using the fond interest level. Oh, there's a lot of achievements. Again, still one playthrough. If I want to come back later, or maybe I'll do another video in the future where I get all the DLC if I like the game enough. But for now, we'll just do it this way. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. You know what? Actually, I think that I am going to end this first episode here. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Yeah, we'll do a quick save. I feel like that was a good length for an episode, and so for now, guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and I am going to close the door on this one. I'll start the next video right at the same part. For now, bye-bye.